Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the final edition of this show. Final only for the games that really matter now before the qualifiers start. Uh, Once the qualifiers start, we'll probably have one more edition where we'll predict and we'll work and we'll talk about the qualifiers. But for now, this is the final six games and the final six games that really matter and decide who will the top four be. Before we go ahead, let me quickly ask my co-12th man from Mumbai, Rapinder Tinku Arora, to come on screen. Hey, Tinks.
Hey Lee, how are you?
Excellent, brother. How's Lonavala treating you?
Nice, it's a nice relaxing place. Nice, enjoying myself.
So
We
we're missing Mahesh today because he's gone off to Andaman and Nicobar. And while he was away, we saw a lot of action happening. And we're now at the business end of the tournament. The final six games that really matter.
yeah, interestingly poised. We don't know who are the number two, three, and four. I think Mumbai is number one. For rest, there's a fight for all. All can reach.
So I've done some research, and I will later on in the show read that out to you. And it's not as simple as it looks. Mumbai is still not number one. DC is not number one. We don't know what's happening. We'll come to that. For now, let us ask Ashlyn to show us the week that went by. Ashlyn, can we have the highlights of the last week? We're having some issues with the sound, so I will fill in with the commentary. Uh, okay. Great. Thank you very much, Ashlyn. Tinku, I need you to unmute yourself, please. What a week that was. Tinku, can you hear me?
I can't hear you well. Your voice is cracking.
I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah, better now.
I said, what a week that was. A lot of surprises this week also. Teams swinging fortunes and teams that came back from the dead, and then Punjab losing yesterday's game. Tournament is wide open now.
Yes, Rajasthan, Hyderabad, KKR, Punjab. Everybody's still there. Everybody's still there. Nobody's going anywhere except for Chennai. All the teams are there. It's a very interesting IPL as usual. And The only surprise is CSK being at the bottom.
So you know what? I have this friend who's actually our fan of the week, and he's from the Philippines, Anand Mehtani. I will bring him on later in the show because we will discuss a lot of cricket with him. For now, we will bring you the Laker contest winner of the week, and we have a young girl from Mumbai, Dia Daryanani, who managed to get 8 out of 9 predictions right. Dia, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good. 8 out of 9 predictions right. That's a lot. How did you manage that?
I think the key with predicting cricket games, especially, is to not overthink. Everyone's playing super well, so it can go either way. But I think I just took my call and I was like, yeah, this is the answer I want to stick with. And I didn't change and I didn't fret over it. And it worked. So,
Would you rather have bought a lottery ticket last week?
absolutely not. I'm getting free food for this. So, I'm pretty happy with the outcome.
Excellent. You know who you have to thank, right? Powai Live are the ones who've organized the sponsors and who are keeping all our winners well fed and happy. Your favorite cricketer, Dia?
So, to be very honest, I'm not extremely into cricket, but I think we watched the India Pakistan match last year live, and I think I was really sort of inspired by Virat Kohli's captaincy, how he works as a leader, and how he's so motivating to the team, as well as he's obviously a very talented sports person and individual. So, probably Virat Kohli.
You're probably one of the very few girls who likes Virat Kohli for everything else but his looks. Okay, and the team that you think will win the IPL with whatever little you've seen?
Born and brought up in Mumbai, so that will be my bias. So even if they lose or they win, I'll always be a Mumbai Indians fan, but hopefully they'll win this year.
Excellent. Tinku, you have any questions for our contest winner?
Dia, you can play Hunch for me, please. I'm playing a contest called Hunch. So you can give my answers. I'll send you all the questions. I'll send you all the questions. But whatever you answer, I'll blindly follow that now. Commendable job. Fantastic. I know how excited you are while watching the games. I've seen you live watching the game. So I was very much next to you. I could capture those special moments. So keep it up.
Thank you.
Excellent. You have a great weekend here, and we will see you towards the finals where you'll be competing with the winners of the previous weeks.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And I'll be joining you for dinner.
Perfect.
Don't call for it tomorrow. Maybe on Monday I'll join you.
Great. Looking forward to it. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Dia.
Bye, Dia. Take care.
It's amazing how many kids and how many young girls are getting our contest right. It's phenomenal to see this. Well, very quickly, let's move on to our next segment where we will bring our fan of the week, Anand Mehtani. Hey, Anand, how are you doing?
Good, very good. How are you guys?
Hi, Anand.
Hi.
So, Anand joins us all the way from the Philippines. Anand, as you can see on the screen, we call you the Super Fan of the Week, which is named after a brand of ice cream that was recently launched here. And we usually send a couple of tubs of ice cream to the Super Fan of the Week, but Philippines are a little too far off. So go out and get yourself a scoop on our behalf.
No problem. You can send one tub to each of you guys on my behalf.
That'll be nice.
That's wonderful.
Anand, your thoughts on IPL so far?
Well, I think this tournament is absolutely brilliant. Been a fan from the beginning, but the quality of cricket this year has been amazing. For me, the timings don't help, but I got to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning to watch these games. But I mean, Sheetal's pissed off, but what to do? I'm going to see all the games. It's amazing. I'm really impressed with the quality of fielding. I mean, the fact that you can see Cummins coming into bowl at his captain or his ex-captain, who was #1 batsman in the world, facing the #1 bowler, and Cummins trying to knock his head off. I mean, I think that was absolutely brilliant. And you saw that in the England game too. You saw Geoffrey Archer going at Morgan, and these guys are fired up. And it's rare that you'll see. I don't know if you saw Ferguson in his first game. He had 7 balls over 150 kilometers an hour. And I mean, a lot of us have played cricket, and I believe I played to a pretty decent standard. But at that speed, however flat your pitches may be, it's pretty amazing. And I think the quality of cricket has been amazing. The young guys coming in from India, I mean, seeing the way they're performing, it's just brilliant. I think the IPL is absolutely fantastic.
So if you had to pick one new cricketer, Indian cricketer, who you think is the find of this tournament, who would it be?
But you know, to be honest, for this year, actually, I can't really think of anyone great this year. But you know, Chakravarti, I didn't think he was that good. The spinner from KKR, I might be a little biased, but seeing him of the last few games and seeing him as a mystery bowler, being capable of, I don't know if you saw the way he bowled Dhoni. I know Dhoni's been a little bit out of form, but Dhoni was zapped. And it's very rare that you see that look on his face and Dhoni being irritated after getting out. So, and he's been picked for the Indian teams. So I feel he can go a long way. If he's nurtured well, I think he can go a long way. He's got height. For a spinner, he's got pace. Kumble, if he's yet with the Indian team, I'm not sure if he is, could help him a lot because they're relatively similar. So I think he has potential to go some distance. I mean, I don't think we've got to find like a Bumrah or someone this year, but he, I feel, can go some distance.
Your thoughts on Devdutt Padikkal, the opener from RCB?
Well, young kid. I mean, I believe he's got potential, but I guess, you know, batting can be a little bit deceptive in the IPL opening because you just go out and swing to a great extent. So him, I think we'll have a better idea seeing him play better. I mean, you know, if they give him a chance in the international stage, and we'll know more about him later. There were a couple of guys last year too who came out, but unfortunately didn't perform in the international stage. So batting is a little difficult to call.
IPL at one time almost made Sunil Narine the world number one batsman.
Correct.
When people haven't figured out that he could not face a short ball, he would open and hit 60, 70 every innings. So you're right about that. This guy has class, and I hope he gets nurtured well and has a good future in the game. Tinku seems to be having network issues. He's not in Mumbai. He's in the South, so he's back. Tinku, any questions you have for Anand?
So Anand, like you're in Philippines right now. So all the matches are being watched? All the matches, like, are the public crazy for cricket over there too, or is just the Indian sector which is watching?
No, it's just the Indian sector mostly the Indian sector that watches. So you don't even get them on local TV. So we've got to get the internet, the internet TVs and then watch it on those boxes. But yeah, it's mostly the Indian expats who watch it here.
We have a viewer called Omkar Valhekar who says, considering KKR's current lineup, do you think they will qualify? Anand, I'll let you answer that question since you're a KKR fan.
Well, my heart says I want them to qualify, but honestly, they don't deserve to qualify. But the way it's lining up, and if I look at the games, and because of Punjab losing yesterday, I think KKR has an outside chance. They really have an outside chance. But for that to happen, Punjab's got to lose again.
So I sat down and I did some math and I kind of did some research. So I'll take 5 minutes of your guys' time. Just listen to this because this is phenomenally interesting. Kings 11 Punjab's loss on Friday means they can no longer qualify the playoffs without net run rate coming into equation, right? Net run rate has become a very large deciding factor from here on. Punjab can at best finish joint third or fourth on points, but they have a 50% chance of doing that. A 50% chance of finishing joint third or fourth. Rajasthan Royals' chances of finishing a clear number one. I don't think any one of us gave Rajasthan Royals that chance a few games back, right? But Rajasthan Royals has a chance of finishing a clear number one. At the probability of that is 11%. And they have a 50% chance of finishing tied on points for third or the fourth spot. So the chances of Royals actually qualifying now is fairly high. Friday's results has also doubled KKR's chances of finishing a clear fourth. It's now at 11%. It was only 5% before this. Or of being tied for the third or the fourth spot, the probability is 50%. The result yesterday also means that DC and RCB cannot finish any lower than tied for the third spot on points. So they will either finish first, second, or tied on third. However, that does not mean either of them, that DC or RCB, is sure of qualifying, because there remains the possibility of either being tied with two other teams on third spot and losing out on net run rate. The lowest Mumbai Indians can finish is tied for the second spot. There is no possible combination of match results which can yield a clear number 1, 2, 3, 4, which means it is certain that at least one team will qualify because of net run. It is possible we could end up 3 teams on the top with 16 points and 3 others with 14 points. So 6 teams having similar points, but going through on net run rate. This could happen if Delhi win against Mumbai and lose to Bangalore. Bangalore and Mumbai both lose to Hyderabad, and Punjab beats Chennai. And lastly, this would leave Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore with 16 points each, and Hyderabad and Punjab with 14. The third team with 14 in this scenario would be the winner of the Kolkata and Rajasthan match. This is insane. So, Tinku, while you were away, there is a very strong possibility we might have 3 people with 16 points and 3 people with 14 points, rather 3 teams each. I don't think we've ever seen an IPL which is
And
as
maybe many will remain on 14 too. Maybe 14.
I missed that. What did you say? Tinku, we can't hear you.
I'm saying many might remain on 14 too.
Exactly. So 3 teams on 16 and 3 teams on 14 is a very strong possibility, with only one of them going through on net run rate.
Hi, you can hear me now?
Yeah, but there's a big lag. I mean, Anand, do you really think KKR has a chance of qualifying?
Well, looking at the table right now, KKR's net run rate is terrible, right? They're the worst of the lot at minus 467. And honestly, I think KKR's nearest competition is going to be Rajasthan Royals. As you said, they've got a pretty decent chance to finish third seeing the lineup, and they're at minus 377. So I think the fourth place is going to be between these 2 teams. And if I look at the games going, you've got, Royal Challengers Bangalore have got to beat Sunrisers for Calcutta to have an opportunity. And Chennai has got to be a spoiler again, and hopefully they will be spoilers by beating Kings 11. Then the Kolkata Rajasthan Royals basically becomes a knockout game. And whoever wins that game is pretty much going to qualify. So I believe that by November 1, the Kolkata and Rajasthan game will probably give you the 4th qualifier. If Chennai beats Punjab and the Royal Challengers beat Sunrisers.
More than Chennai being spoiling someone else's party, what I really, really want is one good game for MS Dhoni.
Yeah, he's lacking this year. It's just, but the guy's got foresight. He called his career. He knows that it's not happening. His mind is there. His heart is there, but it's not happening. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I saw him call a career and probably carry on as a mentor or coach or something of that sort.
But from what we've been seeing and all the signs that he's giving out, he has signed up for the Big Bash League in Australia. And there's every possibility he comes back for IPL next year.
Maybe. I mean, I guess he probably wants to prove something to himself too, right?
Absolutely. We have a...
if all goes well, the next IPL in 6 months.
Sorry, didn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying if all goes well, the next IPL might just be in the next 6 months.
Yeah, it may happen, right? It really may happen in the next 6 months. But I think with Dhoni, with what he's done for Indian cricket, he pretty much decides when he wants to go out, IPL or anywhere. And I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with that. Because he probably gets into any team on his wicket keeping alone.
And his cricketing brain.
Which is unquestionable. So, I think Dhoni decides what Dhoni wants to do.
We have a viewer, Nishant Gujar, who asks us, what has been your favorite cricketing moment this season? Anand, I'll let you answer that first and then I'll go over to Tinku.
Well, I can't recall which game this was, but I've never seen a save like that in my life where there was a shot that was hit on the boundary and this guy jumped all the way and he fell backwards, and about 2 inches from the ground, he flipped the ball back, and someone else caught it. And I've never seen anything like that in my life. Never.
If
And
I'm
I've
not
seen a lot of
mistaken,
cricket.
my moment is very similar, but it wasn't a catch, but it was Mayank Agarwal jumping backwards, throwing the ball back in from the boundary, saving 6 runs in a super over, which actually helped Kings 11 Punjab win that game.
So we may be talking about the same. I think we're talking about the same.
He
Nicholas
went
Puran.
backwards and he just chucked it back. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
No.
Nicholas Puran.
No. I'm talking about another one. I'm
But
talking about.
Mayank Agarwal in the super over. I think
I remember that. I remember that.
Growing up watching Indian cricket all these years, we never thought a cricketing moment for us would be a case of fielding.
Fielding, right?
Indian cricket was always about batting and bowling. Fielding came into the picture only in the last few years. Tinku, your favorite cricketing moment in this IPL?
These fielding moments were good. I even loved when Chris Gale showed his bat, the boss, after he scored the 50. Because he was really missed by Kings 11 Punjab, and he somehow has changed the fortunes this time. He's come inside the team. Even last night's game, he was fantastic. He missed out his century by 1 run. I've never seen him throw his bat this way, in disgust or in anger, or maybe he wanted to hit a few more runs in the last 4 balls. So it was a very different moment which we noticed. And yeah, we're enjoying the game. Like watching Chris Gale bat, he's enjoying at the age of 41. He's running twos, which he never has done. So there have been many moments, but this is one of them. This has been one of them.
Absolutely.
And I have another one too. I mean, for all of us watching cricket and seeing the way ABD's been playing, that's just amazing. The guy gave up all forms of cricket, and he comes back and is such a superstar. It's really hats off to guys like him and Chris Gale. Really amazing.
We all know of his prowess in all the different sports, but yesterday he released his first single. So now ABD is a singer also.
Correct.
Maybe in our next show we will play that song, but
Amazing.
There's nothing this guy can't do.
Nothing. He was hockey team, rugby team. He was the winner of the junior. He was South African junior 100-meter champion. He'd run 100 meters in 10.1 seconds. What a guy! I mean,
he's also a phenomenal tennis player. He's also played that at the national level.
Yeah, and I mean, the guy who could score a century in 40 balls and bat an entire day to save a match against Australia. I mean, unbelievable. What a guy. Hats off to him.
He's one guy for whom we have to dedicate one whole season, not one show, but one whole season, and we won't be able to cover his exploits because he's a phenomenon beyond compare. We have a viewer, Mayank Kothari, asking us, is RCB looking good for a title? Tinku? Tinku, is RCB?
Yes, they are looking good. I feel their bowling is lacking a bit. And again, the over-dependence on... Hello? Yeah, RCB, right? They're looking good, but I think they are not the complete team. They still aren't the best team which I can see lifting the title. Like, all corners don't seem to be there. And the bowling is lacking. Their over-dependence on Virat Kohli and ABD is very much evident. So, but on there, they are destructive. Like 2 players need to bat well, 2 bowlers need to bowl well, and you win the title. So it's just a matter of chance, I feel. If luck goes their way, they can win the title. But a full complete side which I can see this year is definitely Mumbai. Like they've covered all corners. Their batsmen, bowlers, all-rounders, everybody's contributing. So Mumbai is, I feel, going to be the team to beat.
Anand, do you think RCB has a chance?
I think RCB has a good chance, but as you said, their bowling isn't good, and I guess a lot of people will probably hate me for saying this, but Kohli needs to come good in a big game for RCB to win. Unfortunately, he hasn't done that yet. If he does that, then chances are good.
Yeah, but from now on, it's about being good on just 3 more days. And that is when these big players come up into the best form that careers are. I mean, they've shown us every time it's the big games that matter for them, and they show the class in these big games. So I won't be surprised if RCB turns the tables. They have the batting to overcome the kind of shortcomings of the bowling that they have. So yeah, it will be interesting from here on. Anand, thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to a cricket buff like you.
Oh, pleasure. Good to be on.
We will see you sometime soon. I'm sorry because of the connection, we can't hear you very clearly, but we will see you soon.
Okay, take care, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. Tinku, we have one more question from Mayank Kothari. He says, after so many matches, what you feel will be the finalist top two contenders? I guess we are having a network issue with Tinku's connection also. I'll take the question. Top two contenders, like I read out now, could Mumbai for sure is one of the top two. There isn't an iota of doubt, but we need to see where they finish. That's one or two. But Rajasthan Royals has an outside chance of making it to number one, as per the math. Otherwise, it's going to be RCB. I have a feeling RCB is going to pip DC, and RCB and Mumbai is my number one and two in this stage of the tournament. Uh, Very quickly, we move on to our next segment where we have the young, dynamic, super smart, super intelligent Rudransh Das from Mumbai, who gives us the player of the week. How are you,
Hello.
Rudy?
I'm fine. So for this
Player of
today's player of the week, yeah. So for today, this player of the week for this week, we have seen a lot of performances from everybody. We did see Chris Gayle score 99 just last game before he got bowled, and we have seen a lot of heroic performances from a lot of batsmen. But when you would tell me personally, that who do you think created an impact for that team this week, I would think it would have been Ben Stokes. Obviously, he got a century, then getting a 50. But a fun fact about his 50 was that he got it in the power play, which he was the second player to do it in the IPL 2020. And what I'm liking about the Rajasthan Royals team, and like you said, the math can get Rajasthan Royals in the playoffs, is that they have players to say, Ben Stokes get out. There's Sanju Samson who you can rely on and he can deliver. If he gets out, there's Steve Smith. If Steve Smith gets out, there's Josh Butler. And in the end, if you really are out of opportunities, you have Jofra Archer there who can hit the ball long. So that's why I'm thinking Ben Stokes, like how Chris Gayle got added a lot of wins to Kings 11 Punjab. But the thing about Rajasthan was that they started off with 2 wins, they lost in the mid, and then they ended up with 2 wins in the end. So if you can see the little pattern which is starting to happen, and like you said, Rajasthan do have a very clear chance of coming into the playoffs. And our bowler of the week is everyone might be already thinking about it. It is Varun Chakravarti, the mystery spinner. I will come to the record he has broken, but I will talk about his against Delhi Capitals, how he got 5 for 20. Obviously, when he came, they were not in a situation like it's do or die, because you're chasing defending 194 and the team's already slipped to 100 for 5 or something like that. He just came in and told that, okay, you've done your bit, now I'm coming and doing my bit, and he picked up a amazing spell of 5 for 20. And I know everyone seeing CSK versus KKR would know which record he has broken. It is for he's got Dhoni out twice in one season, which is the most. He broke the record, and he also overtook Lasith Malinga, who also got it, but in 3 games he got twice Dhoni out. So yeah, these 2 players have created an impact to their team respectfully, and maybe they can just get their teams over the line in the next game. Thank you.
Thank you, Rudy. That was wonderful as always. Rudy, I'll leave you to answer the next question. We have a viewer, Omkar Valekar, who asks us, according to your analysis, who do you think is the best opening batsman or has the best opening partnership? Rudy?
If you would have told me, looking at the first game of the IPL, I would have said Quinton de Kock and Rohit Sharma. And then, so each game is changing. First, it was Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock. Then, after CSK versus Punjab, it was Shane Watson and Faf du Plessis. But the one opening pair I'm liking is obviously RCB's Devdutt Padikkal and Finch or Josh Philippe. And also the new Mumbai Indians opening pair, what's his name, Ishan Kishan and Quinton de Kock. And somewhat now what you're seeing is Ruturaj Gaikwad with either a Faf du Plessis or a Shane Watson. But overall, I think it's Mumbai and RCB whose opening pairs are giving them a blast.
My number one opening pair through this season has been KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal. They have been
But the thing
phenomenal
is,
and probably the most consistent opening pair so far. Mayank obviously has missed the last few games because of an injury, but when you look at consistency, I think those guys have really nailed it. Tigu, your
yeah.
thoughts on the best opening pair this season?
Yeah, surely I can say Mayank and Rahul, KL Rahul. Unfortunately, Mayank has been missing out, and he was missed really last night. And had he been there, maybe the situation could have been different. They would have had a 200 plus score. You never know. Cricket is all about ifs and buts. And I'm even liking Ben Stokes now as an opener. Like last 2 3 games, he's been really enjoying himself. He's been taking a lot of runs in the power plays, and that's making a big difference to the RR total. Well, even if you talk about Delhi, Delhi has a fabulous opening pair, but unfortunately, Prithvi Shaw has gone off the ladder and he's not performing. But Gabbar is there. But if at all Prithvi Shaw can get his game, and Gabbar can contribute, then he also has a very, very, very formidable opening.
But honestly, we don't have any places for ifs and buts in cricket, right? On current
That's
form,
right.
I think
Mayank and KL. Mayank and
Yeah.
KL will be my best
Okay.
number one.
let me change that and ask you what Omkar also asked. If you had to pick one best opener, who would it be?
I would say KL Rahul.
Okay, Tiku?
I'll go for Dhawan instead of KL Rahul. No doubt KL Rahul is the highest scorer, the orange cap holder currently, but his strike rate has been a tad lower. It shouldn't be so low where he is. He's around one in the mid 120s, if I'm not wrong. He's beginning to start, but he's not finishing off the games. That's where he's been lacking this. Even last night's game, like, he played till the 15th over, then getting out at 46, the time when he was supposed to accelerate. And maybe he was a bit too slow between over number 8 and 12, where things needed to be accelerated. So, no doubt he's the number one scorer. But for the team's sake, maybe he doesn't have the confidence in the lower order or what. I don't know why he's not accelerating the way he should.
I agree with
But if
KL
you're
Rahul.
asking about the
Yeah.
teams,
Sorry.
the way the opening pair for RCB, like I'm liking Devdutt Padekar, who one problem I'm seeing is the fact that they rely too much on Devdutt Padekar. So if you saw in the last game against Mumbai Indians, RCB got to an amazing start with Devdutt Padekar firing a lot. But then what happens is when this is happening with a lot of teams, is one wicket falls down, all the wickets fall down. So that's why what I like about KL Rahul is that people can rely on him, and if he gets out, it's okay. And he's also very flexible. So they know if it's not working with him going opening, which has not happened, they can send him lower down the order.
Again, I would agree with what Tiku said, because purely because KL Rahul will definitely walk away with the orange cap this season. I don't think anyone can dethrone him now. But the fact remains that he hasn't delivered the killer punch even once, which to me is a big shortcoming. Uh, having runs in the kitchen, not being able to win a game, really doesn't serve the purpose. At the end of the day, cricket is a team game, and you need to play for the team. So I would probably go with the Shikhar Dhawan too, and purely because he started off very scratchily in the beginning of IPL this season, but once he found form, he's made it count in almost every game after that. So that we have Shweta Krishna asking us what is happening with Rohit Sharma. There is a lot of speculation around him. Well, Shweta, that is what is around him. Speculation. Uh, it's sad to see that a cricketer with his talent is kind of, there has to be something wrong, because the day he was not picked for the Indian team, he went onto his Instagram profile and removed Indian cricketer from his bio on Insta. Now, that sends out a very strong message that not all is well in the ranks. Some say it is because KL Rahul has been appointed the vice captain and not him. Some say because he wasn't even considered. Some say that he was called Vada Pav owner because of the size that he's grown into. So there are too many angles. We don't know what it is. We will surely let you know if we find out before you do. But fact of the matter remains is that you can't keep someone like Rohit Sharma out for long because he is way too classy. He's proven his might time and again. He's far too invaluable as an opener for India. So for India's sake, I would really hope he comes back to form and back into the team really soon. Pallavi says, what are the big surprises in store for us, you think? Tinku, any surprises that you're expecting?
Uh, the biggest surprise has been Punjab for me from number 8 to number 4. They've worked
But
hard
what
to
are the
reach there.
surprises that we are expecting from now on, not what has happened?
From now on, I can see a Rajasthan Royal topple everyone and come at number 4 or number 3 also.
Rajasthan can land up at number 1 also.
Yeah, that's what you. Yeah, that's right. No, how can they land up? They're at 12 points,
I
and
will send you the map. If they have it now on and
they can't get to number 1. They have only one game left, no? Rajasthan. So they're on 12.
I'll send you the map. If they win and everybody else loses all their game, then they go right to the top on that ranking. But yeah, you're expecting
not number 1.
Royal.
They can get to maximum 14. I think Rajasthan will get to maximum 14.
I will send you the map later on. We don't have the thing to discuss it here, but I'll send you the map later on. You can have a look at it. So you're saying Rajasthan Royals is the team that can surprise people now. Rudy, your team that can surprise anybody now?
I would think KKR. Obviously, I don't like KKR at all. But you saw against KKR versus CSK, they were trying to gain form. And if Morgan can come and he can give up in like how against Afghanistan in the World Cup he gave in innings, and Dinesh Karthik from 21-50s can make it to something big, I think that KKR have a huge chance of coming in the top 4. But they need their players to put out their best foot forward.
The surprise that I'm waiting for is not KKR coming into the top 4, but KKR winning this. But that's a way too far off. I'll keep my fingers crossed. I don't understand why Moin Moore is waiting to come out back till the 15th over. I mean, he's someone who can actually come out in the 5th over and stay till the 20th and keep the run rate going. I really think he's not utilizing himself well. When you said Karthik, I think is better off coming out in the last 3-4 overs, scoring a quick fire 25-30 and winning the game. Sending him way too early is kind of not utilizing him well. So
like if you
fingers
saw
crossed.
his highest runs in like when he got a 50, he came up in the 16th and 14th over.
Exactly. So I think Karthik is best there. I just wish for KKR that Morgan shows more faith in himself and doesn't send in a Rinku thing before he comes out to back himself.
I think he's trying to be like Dhoni.
That's right.
I know, but not too many people will be happy hearing that if they are KKR or Morgan fans, because at the moment Dhoni sir doesn't seem to be doing anything right. But yeah, for KKR's sake, I'm sure Morgan needs to bat a lot more than he's batting. Rudy, on that note, thank you very much, and thank you for the extended. Remind you again, spending a lot of time watching IPL and doing this with us. Make sure you are studying.
I don't watch so much IPL. I only watch 1 hour or 1.5 hours.
Excellent. Then you're doing a fantastic job. Take care, buddy, and we'll see you probably before next Saturday because I think we should have a show once the qualifiers are ready to start. What do you say? Yep. All right. See you soon, buddy.
See you, Rudy. Well done again. Well spoken.
Thank you.
Wow. I just, this was not planned, Tinku. I really thought of taking Rudy on today and let's see, engaging him in another session. And he has his head in the right place when it comes to cricket for sure.
He's always ready. He's ready with answers always.
Absolutely. Ashlyn, can we very quickly have a look at the points table? There you go. So, game wide open now for, it's phenomenal. I don't remember seeing a chart like this in any season of the IPL where no one could put a finger and say, you know what, this team is definitely going to make it. But phenomenal. I mean, this is just the pleasures of watching T20 cricket day in, day out. I think IPL stretched across a month tends to get a little tedious for all the viewers in the middle. But from now on, till the 10th of November, I don't think anyone is going to miss a single game if you are married to the game of cricket. Ashland, thank you very much for that. Very quickly, can we also have the games coming up, the 6 games left before the qualifiers? Can we have a look at those, please? There you go. We have DC versus Mumbai today, and we also have RCB versus Sunrisers later in the evening. Chennai, Kings 11, KKR, Royals, DC, RCB, Sunrisers, Mumbai. Those are the 6 games lined up before we get into the knockout stage of the tournament. And believe me, these 6 games are going to be absolute crackers because every game matters from here on. Thank you, Ashland.
Well, each of these games is a knockout game now.
Absolutely, it's virtually a knockout from here on.
Yeah. All interesting.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying all the games are very interesting. Like we can't afford to miss any game, and each team is going to try their level best to win whichever game possible. Every game possible from now, because some have only 1 game left, some have 2 games left. The guys with just single games left, they have to make it count. They need to win and win it with a big score, with a big lead too.
We have a question from Pallavi who says, what happened with Rajasthan Royals yesterday? That was a fab show. Is it a good time to peak? Pallavi, my thoughts on that is when you have someone like a Ben Stokes in your 11, he's not the number 1 all-rounder in the world for nothing. You cannot keep a Ben Stokes out of the game for long. I mean, yeah, he did not show signs of being in the game the first couple of games, but that is how it is. 2 games down, and after that, Ben Stokes has been on an absolute roll. Whether he's fielding, you saw that catch yesterday, whether he's opening the batting, whether he's got the ball in his hand, he's a guy who he's in all true senses of the word, a 3-dimensional player. He covers every aspect of the game. So, RR absolutely peaking at the right time. We've seen the likes of DC and Mumbai who started off on a note where it looked like they could not lose anything, and then kind of have had a little bit of a downward slump. But RR, Kings 11 Punjab, these are the teams that picked up pace in the second half of the tournament, and now all of a sudden, all of them are in the fray for the final 4. So yeah, Tinku, thoughts on RR? Been a phenomenal performance so far.
Like they've been really fantastic last couple of games. And as Rudy said some time back, like they have so many match winners in their team. They have a Steve Smith, they have a Sanju Samson, they have a Butler, they have a Stokes, then they have Tewatia down the order.
Jofra Archer.
They've got Jofra Archer. So like they again covered. Like why they are where they are is something really not known. Why are they so low right now? Why are they trying to scrape through when they should have been on the top with the kind of team they have? And they started off really well.
Having played 13 games till now, Jofra Archer in his first 2 overs has not given more than 9 runs in a game. I mean, when you have someone like that performing at, bowling like that, it's difficult to keep the team out. They will come back for sure.
And another thing about Archer is like he's the highest wicket taker for them. Like he's at one place, and the rest of the 5 bowlers are having the equal number of wickets. He has more wickets than the rest of the bowlers in this tournament so far. So that also says a lot about him.
In fact, in yesterday's game, we could see Chris Gale was being shielded from Jofra Archer. I mean,
Yeah.
if people try to hide their bowlers from Chris Gale, but when you're trying to hide a Chris Gale from a bowler, it speaks volumes about that bowler. I mean, I don't think there's any bowler in world cricket today who is as feared as Jofra Archer. Well,
I
on
think
that note,
I think Rabada is the highest wicket taker. Rabada is the highest wicket taker. But Jofra Archer is the more deadlier bowler as of now, it seems, because
Jofra
he's-
Archer has this uncanny knack of
Yes.
lifting the ball from a very uncertain length, and invariably his line is immaculate. Your body is in line of the ball, so batsmen fear him more out of getting hit than losing the wicket. Rabada is definitely a more compact bowler, someone who picks up wickets more regularly, but Jofra Archer is far more feared. I think he's got the easiest and the most calm run up in World Cricket today. And the pace he generates with that run up is actually a true West Indian characteristic. We know roots in the West Indies. And it's characteristic that the West Indian bowlers of the 70s and the 80s had, where you had Andy Roberts who would run in, or Michael Holding who was called Whispering Death. Run in like you could hear them coming in, but when the ball was hurled at you, a 32-ounce red cherry and now became a white cherry that can knock your head off. It is not the best shoe to be in if you're a batsman.
Right. Very well explained. Extremely well explained. Yeah.
Tiku, your IPL winner for this season. One. I don't want to hear Mumbai can win, Delhi can win, Punjab can win. One winner.
Mumbai. I want Delhi or Punjab, but Mumbai. My friend says Mumbai.
Okay. My want is obviously KKR. But all of a sudden, I don't know why I have this feeling it might be RCB. And I am hoping for King Kohli. It'll do wonders for them considering what happened to them last year. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and we will have another show in the coming week before the qualifiers start. So till then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and do not miss any more games because from here on, every game is a knockout. Take care.
Take care, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the games and be safe.
You enjoy your weekend in Lonavala, buddy.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Yeah.